Good evening, and thank you guys so much for joining us here on a brand new season of Speed Racing Network. I'm Greg Olenek, as always, and I got a new guy up here in the booth with me. It's my good buddy, Pete Ruzick. Pete, you're known as Repeat around the community, and, I met you on consoles. Tell everybody about yourself and how, excited you are to be here.
Absolutely, Greg. I couldn't believe that when we actually were able to catch back up again on Facebook, you said that you were possibly looking for somebody to fill a spot here with SRN. I watched a bunch of the streams, keep up with a lot of the guys that make up the field. Absolutely happy to be here. Like you said, got my feet wet back on the Xbox console, working with the one and only HD Motorsports old Nick Vroman or Vroom Vroom Vroman, and it just kind of took it from there. Went on. You helped me out a lot of the way during those times with graphics and videos and whatnot. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be sitting right beside you. Greg, it's Daytona, starting off a brand new SRN season. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, I'm excited to have you. You're bringing the energy, kind of waking me up a little bit, because like I've been telling everybody, I've been on a plane since 4 a.m. this morning coming back from Vegas, so dragging my feet a little bit, but Pete going to carry the energy for us. But like you said, we're here at Daytona for a brand new season of SRN action. And in case you guys missed out on a lot of the off-season headlines, let's go ahead and run a little quick package for you to catch you up on everything. There you have it. That's exactly what you missed towards the end of last season and going on in the offseason. We crowned some new champions, Brad Herman in the trucks, Adrian Schumacher in Xfinity, and Dalton Tucker in the Cup Series. And speaking of the Cup Series, Pete, they're going to be in the next-gen cars this season, so a lot of new stuff happening on the track for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. These next-gen cars have gone through a lot of change since iRacing first brought them to fruition. They've made a lot of change with the pinion settings, with the wheel settings. When these things first came out, and if you didn't know anything about them all, you'd go out on track and you're turning the wheel, 45 degrees to the left, and the thing's still going straight because you knew nothing about it. Yeah, an entire season of these next-gen cars. They've made a lot of updates. They've made a lot of changes. There's been a lot of leagues that have kind of switched over to them, but not yet full-time. There's still some changes that iRacing is making to these cars, and they're kind of doing it as the season goes along rather than just throwing it out there all at once.
Well, speaking of throwing it all out there at once, let's go ahead and bring up our sponsors on board for this season of SRN action. Silverback Tax Solutions, as always, they're going to be in charge of the green flag wave, and Sparkle and Shine Mobile Detailing coming on board for the rec replay. Butt Kicker going to go ahead and sponsor somebody that picks up the most positions, on average throughout the year. And then TJ's Team Foundation, go check them out at www.morethanAcape.org. They're going to be on board for that winning moment, and man, it is a really, really cool organization to be a part of here with SRN.
Absolutely. I know I've worked with Travis Anderson and morethanAcape.org many times. There was actually a series that we did a while back. It was NNR eSpark. It was Shake and Bake and one other that we all got together. It was basically the champions of each series racing it out. And, you see and hear a lot about some other organizations saying, like St. Jude's, where parents never receive a bill for food or lodging or anything at all. All they've got to worry about is taking care of the person that's down, the person that's, not feeling well, the person that's got some issues. TJ's team is right there as well. they make sure that the family's taken care of. That way they can take care of their loved one.
Yeah, and how appropriate for them to be sponsoring the winning moment at the end of the race. So appreciate them coming on board. Can't wait to work with them for these next 20 weeks and hopefully past that as well. But we mentioned Butt Kicker too. They're going to be handing out a gamer to each driver in each series who gains the most positions on average. So a little bit of a hard charger incentive here. And Pete, these are super popular amongst the iRacing and just racing community in general, pretty much the gaming community in general. These things are freaking awesome to have.
Yeah, when I actually bought my rig, it came with a butt kicker adapter. I was hoping it was actually going to come with the butt kicker itself, but not so much. I'll tell you what, Greg, I've actually got that thing setting to the side. Whoever wins that butt kicker, if it doesn't automatically come with the adapter for their seat or for their rig, I'll go ahead and I'll throw it in.
Oh, wow. Well, you heard it here first. Pete's just coming out with the energy and incentives for these drivers here on Speed Racing Network. But, yeah, just want to give a quick shout-out to all the sponsors, the returning ones from last year and the new ones here this year. We're always looking for new partners here at Speed Racing Network, trying to build this product into the best that it can possibly be. But, you know, these guys are also racing for something here tonight, and a little bit of a different setup here this season with Speed Racing Network. Each series is going to be racing for the same amount of money in each race. So really no difference in the tiers. You know, last year we would pay the Cup cars the most, and then the Xfinity cars be the second most, and then the trucks being the least amount. But now everybody going to be racing for the same amount of cash in their pocket. First going to come away with $30, second going to come away with $20, and third going to get that $10 entry fee back. So it might look like a little bit on your screen, but it definitely adds up over time.
Oh, yeah, you go throughout a whole season of, what is it, I think it's like 20 races. If you can come in first through third each and every time, not only are you making your money back plus some, hey, who knows? It might pay for that extra, maybe that Fanatec wheel or that Thrustmaster wheel or maybe some new TLCM pedals that you might want, that new shifter or that new mic. That money goes, that can go a long way.
Yeah, and I mean, that is definitely not all that they're racing for either. That season payout going to be the same as the weekly payout. It's going to be the same for each series. First place going to come away with $500. Second place going to get $300. Third going to get $180. Fourth going to get $120. With fifth place, if you make it into that final round of the playoffs, you're guaranteed at least $80. And then we are still paying out 6th through 8th as well to give those guys that didn't make the cutoff something to race for in that last race. $60 going to 6th, 40 to 7th, and 20th to 8th. Yeah, Pete, I told you beforehand I'm just super crammed, and I didn't have time to make a slide for that. But there you have it, $500 going to the season champion.
Hey, money makes the world go around. These guys, that money is going to make these guys go around. But hopefully we see a whole lot of great green flag racing all season long. It looks like about 39 guys so far have taken, and qualifying is almost done. Greg, I can't describe how excited I am about Tuesday nights going forward.
Well, let's go ahead and get out there to beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida, and that weather looking really, really nice here this evening. And I believe we're about to get these guys all gridded up out there. Let's go ahead and check the starting lineup tonight. Oof, that does not look good here. So we might just have to give it to you the old-fashioned way because you can't really read that. So apologies for that. But Reese Schaefer getting the pole here tonight.
Yeah, Reese Schaefer, well, with the pole, Seth Berger, he's going to start to the outside. Edward Shearer, a guy I know very, very well for many years now, he's going to go ahead and start P3. Zimmerman, Devin Zimmerman, that is, going to start P4. Timothy Latham in that Raised Energy Camaro is going to start P number 5. Jeremiah Burke in P6. Scott Kalal in that number 23, P number 7. Tommy Haynes in that number 19, P8. Kyle Ryan in the 91 P9, and Michael Politis in that 6 P10.
Yeah, Brian McAvoy in 11th. Rhett Tucker going to be starting 12th tonight. Andrew McGronigal, I am hoping that I said that right, and the 09 car going to start in 13th. John Wimbish going to be in 14th. Bo Tiffany going to be in 15th. Jeremy Little going to be in 16th. And Taylor Locklear in 17th. Nathan Rogie going to be in 18th. With Matthew Helms in 19th. Brad Herman going to round out that top 20.
Absolutely. And with Brad Herman right behind him, Brandon Thomas. Then you got Gregory J. Smith in that number 28. David Duke in the 78, starting P23. David Fuge Jr., the 22, in 24th. 25th is going to be Robert Norfleet in the number 56. Starting in 26 is going to be the 37, Raul Meza. Clinton Castleberry is going to be in the number 12, starting P27. And P28 is going to be the number 45 for Aaron Bringleson. Michael York in the number 25, starting P29.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing?
55 of Jordan Sailors.
Oh, man, we got all sorts of stuff going on here. I knew I should have got this SDK update up in time. I apologize again. Josh Siegfried going to be in 31st, Lucky in 32nd, and Lane Hosler in 33rd. Steve Whitmore in 34th. Matthew Greathouse, a newcomer here, in 35th. Brett Van Meter going to be in 36th with Zachary Taylor in 37th. Corey Saucier 38th. Byron McDonald in 39th. Bobby Anderson in 40th. And if my scoring is correct, we have 43 drivers here, 44 actually. John Holliday, Causey, Emerson Ardon, and Blair Holman rounding out those drivers.
Talk about a stacked field in more ways than one. 44 cars here to start the SRN season. Can you get any bigger at the World Center of Racing?
You're so speechless. That's how excited you are. I can kind of share that sentiment. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I've been waiting for these cars to get out here, and I'm not going to lie. These next-gen cars are rubbing off on me in a good way. These things look really, really strong. They look really good out there, and I'm excited to see what they can do.
Absolutely. Daytona, the next gen, brand new car, brand new season, whole lot of unknowns yet to come, like I was talking about just a little bit ago with some of the change that iRacing has been making to these cars. But can you just look at some of these paint schemes that these guys are running? They absolutely look phenomenal. They all came prepared.
Well, they're about to get battling here as we see somebody joining the party a little bit up front. I think these are the dual winners from last week. So yep. Emerson Ardon and I believe it's Joseph Causey going to be moving up to the front. Two tank drivers going to lead this thing once we get going here tonight.
Yeah, they delayed the start by one lap, so we're going to take the green on lap 2 of 80. 80 full laps around Daytona International Speedway, and if I'm not mistaken, Greg, I heard something. No fast repairs. 44 cars. These guys are really going to have to take care of their machines from the get-go. Do you think we're going to be looking forward to a whole lot of single-file racing or double wide, but nobody really pinching each other down to the bottom or sliding up to the top?
Well, I'm usually wrong when it comes to predicting these things, so most likely double file, but my prediction is I think we see a good single-file race for the most part. With some people wanting to get up to the front here at the beginning. So, I definitely always look for Rhett Tucker to make his way up to the front. He's starting a little bit further back than he would like, so he's going to have some cars to pass. He's probably going to be wanting to bring some people with him as well. So I look forward to seeing it maybe be a little single file for most of the time. Like you said, no fast repairs has definitely cleaned up the league for the most part. When we first started, these guys did have fast repairs to lean on, but not anymore. They're going to have to get these cars to the end if they want to be checking out in that pay window when it comes time.
Well, you talk about Rhett Tucker wanting to work his way forward. I talked to Michael York in the number 25 earlier today. He said, Pete, I am going to stay in the rear with the gear. That's his plan. We were talking about that a little bit in pre-race, and I said, man, as long as you don't get caught on the high side to where if something happens, it limits your ability to make any kind of moves to get out of the way or to avoid anything. As we see that pace car go ahead and make that left turn down pit road. Greg, we're about ready to set these guys green. Welcome to the new season.
Yes, it's green flag action here at Daytona. The Silverback Tax Solutions green flag. If you're looking to save some green, go ahead and check out Silverback Tax Solutions. But here we go. Hopefully the scoring gets a little bit cleared up once they clear some black flags. Like we said, the dual winners heading up to the front, but so far not looking like it wants to update Actually, it might be actually kind of correct. Nope, that's Joseph Causey still out in front. I can't tell with all these tank drivers up front, all repping the team really well.
Absolutely repping the team really well. And look at this bottom line. Really formed up very, very well. The high side, there's only 3 cars. Then there's a couple spots back. If you think back to the actual Daytona race where you saw Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin and a few others fall off the pace by quite a bit once they drop past about 2 to 2.5 car lengths. These next-gen cars, they don't suck up the same way the old Cup cars or the trucks or the Xfinity cars do. You have to stay in line, otherwise you're going to get dusted real fast.
Well, here we see Reese Schaefer staying behind his teammate Joseph Causey, who is the leader out on the track, so going to have to work out these kinks whenever we do get a time to run a quick commercial break and try to reset the scoring, because it is not happy with what we just did here. Like they said, the admins pulling up the guys that won the duels last week to be on the front row and therefore having to clear some black flag penalties. But right now, Joseph Causey leading the way as he comes back to the stripe to take lap 3 here at Daytona.
Absolutely. Lap 3 is going to belong to him. You got the 17 of Reese Schaefer very, very close to his rear view. Again, just 3 cars to the outside. And Greg, it looks like your prediction was right. There is a long train coming on that bottom line. Nobody else so far besides those 3 really venturing to the top side. As long as they stay nose to tail, they might have a chance to stay there. But, numbers prevail here at the super speedways.
Yeah, I just don't think somebody, like I said, I thought it was going to single file out, but I don't think it's going to stay that way for very long, especially if those cars are staying that high on the high side. We got 3 cars on that high lane. It's definitely going to entice some people to maybe come up there and try and pick up some positions here tonight. So crossing the stripe to take lap 4 here. Starting to move along here. We might see a good green flag run, maybe some green pit stops if this thing holds off, but right now, Emerson Ardon now out in front, and my scoring is right, so I'm a happy boy right now.
There you go. Yeah, that 23 of Scott Kalal, he jumped up to the outside, and as soon as that happened, it seemed like there was just a fuse lit. And as soon as the other 3 cars that were in front of him were clear the leader, they all dusted him. And unfortunately, 23 is just going to have to hope for a gap on the bottom. Maybe here behind the 4, can he get down in front of the 79? Yes, he does. 79 had to check up, but here it is now. One very long Johnny Cash line on the bottom. And yeah, nobody to the outside. Normally in the real races, we see this around the high side. The old Dale Jr. Pied Piper line, not so much. Everybody's guiding it around that butter.
Yeah, well, this is probably all team orchestrated right now, even though you see that 24 is in a Chevrolet. Seth Berger is also a driver for Tank Racing in another series. He raced for them last season as well and performed really well. So right now, all of the top 6 except for Seth, he's kind of a satellite team, you could call it, running in a Chevy. But right now, 5 out of the top 6, all Ford Mustangs.
Yeah, a whole lot of ponies up front as you keep going back through. It looks like about P17, P20, right around there. A couple of guys decided to go ahead and duck to the outside. They decided they didn't want to run single file anymore. Maybe they can make up a couple spots. Maybe try a little bit of side drafting, unless they feel that it's too early to do so. But one way or another, they're going to have to try to get up there, get going, and try to get gone. But we're seeing 3 very distinct packs from 1st through about 20th, 21st through about 25th, and then there's a lot of guys way in the back. They don't want to lose the draft, otherwise they got to really get motivated and get single file to try to make up some time.
Yeah, 2 teammates here working really well together so far. Rhett Tucker, that's one of the drivers that I mentioned, one to watch out for. And yep. Andrew McGonigal, they're both working together. They've added a few more drivers to the team while I was gone on vacation, so they're not listed here. But yeah, 2 team guys that I mentioned to look out for here tonight. And like I said, Rhett Tucker does not like waiting around, so not surprising to see this here.
Yeah, you mentioned Rhett Tucker was going to try to make his way to the front. He's got the 99, giving him a mirror full. And I was talking about Mike York. He said he was going to be in the rear. He's not. He didn't make a liar out of me. But yeah, look at those two cars on the high side. They are coming on down, drafting a little bit off the 17. You saw the 17 actually lose just a little bit of momentum, and it pulled Rhett Tucker forward. He's now tied with about P3 on the inside.
Yeah, that is crazy to see just how much momentum they can get with just two drivers. We saw it work really well with just three before when Devin Zimmerman was getting that big push from Scott Kalal and ultimately pushing Seth Berger up to the front as well. But right now, seeing it work with just two guys and could be raising some eyebrows for some drivers here, taking some notes as this race unwinds here. Maybe something they can look forward to at the end of this thing.
Absolutely, showing that it can definitely be done, but you can't get too aggressive. You can see exactly how long it might take you to be able to work your way back to the front and then maybe cool it off just a little bit. For the guy in the back, the 99, he was just pushing that 09 all the way up to, like I said, to about tied with P number 3 on the bottom. They saw how quick they were able to do that. The 99 might have had to back off, might have been warming up just a little bit, but good job by those guys showing exactly what can be done.
Well, quickly to lap 9 already in this race, and not much changing up front. Emerson Ardon still out in front. He started on the front row, outside pole. Like you said, he won his duel and still holding the ground up front, looking to get his first career SRN win. And why not do it at Daytona here in week number 1 of Season 3 at Speed Racing Network action.
Absolutely, the 24 of Seth Berger, he has been completely committed to the back end for Mr. Arden up here in the top 2. Even when Tucker pulled to the outside, the 24 didn't really seem like he was tempted much to pull on up and maybe try to take the lead to himself. Completely committed to that Mustang right in front of him.
Well, Pete, what do you say we have a little fun here and have like a crank it up moment? See how that works tonight, if we can get that working.
Let's go. Turn it up.
Pete, we saw it. There's a little bit of action there towards the back of the pack. Not sure who that was, but someone made a little bit of contact with another driver, and now that pack in the back starting to break up a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure either. I thought maybe it was the 5 for Tim Latham in that Rays Energy Camaro, but no, he's still sitting pretty good inside the top 7, actually running 7th right now. Out there in chat, you got Josh Bittner saying, "Let's go, Jeremiah." Looking at Jeremiah right now, he's sitting about P number 9. He's in this long train on the bottom, keeping up with the leaders, doing a pretty good job so far.
Yeah, super cool car with a new team on board this year, Gear Up Motorsports. Looking forward to see what Jeremiah Burke can do in that beautiful, almost watermelon-looking type car. But right now, solid run so far. Like you said, running in 9th to this point. But let's go ahead, head back up front. Not much changing. These guys just working really well together and just counting down the laps as they go by. Now, Pete, I'm not too familiar with these cars, don't know the fuel load, but I have to imagine running a 60% fuel load, I believe, it could be, I think it might be 70%. I need to go back and look at the rules here. But still, nonetheless, I think that we might be seeing about halfway through this fuel run, and maybe potentially staring down the possibility of making a green flag pit stop in these things for the first time. So looking forward to seeing what these guys can do with that.
Absolutely, and being very different from the traditional or the Gen 6 Cup cars, these cars have a fifth gear in them, so you're saving even a little bit more fuel. So even though the 57 of Emerson Arden, he's been up front about the entire, or these last several laps, as you see the 17 and 94, look at Shearer shove that 17 all the way up to where they're both able to clear the 57, just as we were talking about them. But yeah, these guys got a fifth gear in them, so they're able to save just a little bit more fuel. Still, the guy in the front, he's still burning the most. The guys in the back, they're still able to save some. They're still following the same rules, don't push the pusher and whatnot. But I would imagine these guys can go just a little bit further than past series Cup cars.
Yeah, it's kind of blowing my mind to see how well these cars are working together with just two cars in a pack. It's almost like the tandem drafting days when Trevor Bayne won his Daytona 500. And look, and now we see Rhett Tucker doing the same thing with Andrew McGonigal pushing him this time. Those two cars from Rhett Tucker Racing that we mentioned a couple laps ago now working their way up. And didn't I tell you, Rhett Tucker does not waste any time getting up to the front. We didn't make any picks. I meant to do that, Pete. But if I had to pick, I was going to go ahead and pick this 99 Rhett Tucker because he just loves to be up front.
I'll tell you what, if I had to pick somebody that I know that hates to lose, it's just not in his DNA, that's going to be Ed Shearer in that number 94. Knowing the guy for a while, caught a bunch of his streams, the man does not like to lose. He's all over the back end of that 17, just like we saw the 24 use the back end of the 57. Got a little bit of a breakaway now. 33 kind of lost by about a half a car length.
Yeah, Ed Shearer definitely one that gets it done here in SRN. Glad to see him back here this year. But just as we talked about, Rhett and McGonigal, oh my gosh, I'm going to get that name down by at least week 5. Just as we were talking about them moving up, they went back just as fast. So they're starting to lose a lot of ground as that inside lane starts to grow a little bit more. About 14 cars now as some cars from that second pack are catching up.
Yeah, second pack is definitely making up time in a hurry. And the more that the 09 and Tucker on the right behind him, the more that they side draft, the more they pull that line back. That line in the back is going to be able to catch up. It shouldn't take long, but they have to stay uniform. They can't get too racy.
Well, it seems like the action is picking up here as this pack's starting to grow a little bit more, like we said, and they are starting to push a little bit more, it seems, as Shearer is just all over the bumper. They are locked together in that 17 of Reese Schaefer, but I'm sure he is loving it because that means he is not going to have any competition out front with the rest of these guys if Shearer is pushing like that this whole race.
I'm starting to see a lot of these guys off the corner really start to get a little high. Not quite sure if it's a tire issue or if they're getting loose as the fuel burns off. It looks like we're working lap 17 out of lap 80 right now. 80 laps is going to complete the distance here in the season opener. Those two guys on the outside, they continue to work very, very well together. They've got a spot right in front of the 5 of Latham. If they can get down, look like the 09 thought about it, but not going to leave his wingman out to dry.
Yeah, that's a good idea there because that could have been really bad. 3 wide through the dog leg is not an easy thing to do. But yeah, these guys starting to kind of calm down a little bit, maybe pick their battles when they can, and see if they can set something up again. And just as I say that, Rhett Tucker goes right back to the outside where he's been working all along. So I am terrible at predicting these things.
It's hard to do. We don't have that crystal ball. We're not the genie that are able to foretell exactly what these guys are doing. But I can tell you one thing: that 99 and that 09, they've got all kinds of momentum. It seems like they work very well together. I think you said that they're actually on the same team, so they trust each other. They've raced with each other. They know what each other is capable of holding as far as giving a big old shove, maybe when to let off. And it looks like that 09, he's kind of dipping down, testing the inside waters, but he's not leaving Tucker up in the high line by himself.
Yeah, so McGonigal new to the league, not going to have as many friends as Rhett Tucker might possibly. Rhett Tucker been in the league for quite a while now, But I have to imagine people are going to like running with that 09 with the way he's been moving up through the field so far. But Red Tucker now going back down to the inside lane, see if he's going to pop back up when his teammate gets up there and looks exactly like he does it, and see if they can make some ground up. But you're right, they are definitely looking a little loose in these turns. Might be indicative of that fuel load starting to get pretty low in these things, which makes these things even lighter in the rear. It kind of makes you feel like you're just driving on ice, so maybe that's what we're seeing right now. They might be coming down to pit here shortly with crossing the 25% mark of this race here.
I don't know if you saw what Shearer just did. He actually just pulled out and passed the leader by himself. The 99 or the 09 weren't far enough up to help him. He just pulled out, passed the 17, and got right back in front of him on him all by himself. That's a great example, rather, of what that side draft can do.
Yeah, I'm curious to know if that was set up for the fact that maybe Reshaper was burning more fuel than these guys were, so maybe he wanted to get a tow a little bit, so might have let off the gas a little, because that is just unusual to see a car pass the leader by himself, but, not taking anything away from Ed Shearer. He just made it happen, so new leader is that 94, and he won our St. Jude's race here not too long ago in the throwback Chevy stock cars, the Chevy and the Ford Thunderbirds. So he was really pumped about that, and he dominated that race and leaving off right where he, or picking up right where he left off, rather, and putting that 94 out in front of this SRN Cup race, kicking off the season here for Season 3.
I tell you what, I would have to think that Shearer wouldn't have asked the 17, hey, just burp it for a second, thinking that, or possibly feeling that there would be just a huge accordion effect behind the 17. That would have caused a huge checkup for everybody, could have caused a big wreck. I don't know what that 94's got under the pedal or behind the wheel, whichever. But yeah, hell of a monster move for Ed Shearer. Now the leader. So we've seen a couple of different leaders. We've seen the 94. He's in the lead now. We've seen the 17. We've seen the 57. So far, 57, I believe, has led the most laps. Berger, Zimmerman, Causey, Latham, Ryan, Tucker, and McGronigal rounding out your top 10.
Well, there you have it. Let's go ahead a little further back in the field and check our hard charger of the race so far, and that's going to be Blair Holloman in that 06. He started dead last in 44th. And so far, so good. He is moving up 15 positions so far. Just settled in right now in 28th, but not pushing it. Got a long race to go for this 06.
Yeah, a long way to go. And these 6 or 7 cars, they got a long way to go to get back up with the lead pack, if that's their plan. They might just be waiting, say, hey, I will make up my time being aggressive on pit road, but hopefully not too aggressive to where they get a black flag. Make up my time getting off pit road, maybe take just right side tires or alternate tires when they're filling up these cars with that Sunoco E15 fuel. Four tires and fuel may not be the order of the night like we'd see at most races. I believe when they ran this race here in the actual Cup Series, or I'm sorry, the Road to Pro race just a few short weeks ago, there was only 3% wear when all laps were completed.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm hoping that the iRacing, community, they kind of fix with the tire model. This is a brand new tire in NASCAR, and it has been showing a lot more wear, which is, not really translating over to the iRacing server. But yeah, that is a common thing at these super speedways, is to just not change your tires under green. That is one thing that every driver knows, is you don't change tires under green flag conditions. So I have to imagine we will see all these guys come down for fuel, maybe 2 tires, but I just don't think it's worth it. You got to just be careful on your pit exit. That apron can get really loose around turns 1 and 2 because you can't merge back up onto the track until the exit of 2. So it is like ice driving down there on that flat surface, but once you get out there, you're not going to lose any time with those older tires.
And it looks like after Blair Holloman, looks like the next biggest mover is going to be the number 12 for Clinton Castleberry. He's up 11 spots from the beginning. Still a little bit further back, running P16 right now, but right in tow.
Yeah, he's doing a great job as these leaders are just pacing around this field. They only still got 14 guys in this lead pack. So going to be with some work cut out as that second pack is about 6 seconds behind these guys, but a caution can change all of that.
Oh, absolutely. You hear it all the time. This changes everything. And it's by no stretch of the imagination. You get all these guys right back together again, and all of a sudden when it's time to go, that right foot gets just a little bit heavier, and what you're seeing out the windshield gets just a little bit closer. That brake pedal gets to be just a little bit further away. When it's time to go, you see the action really ramp up on track.
Coming to the stripe to take lap 27. These guys are doing exactly what I said they were going to do, Pete, and just keep this thing green. So, I mean, I got something right tonight, but they're killing me because I'm dying for a commercial break so I can get these things fixed on my screen. But nonetheless, I don't think anybody's minding too much. Great action out there on the speedway.
Absolutely. A long green flag run, a long train of cars leading from first through about, as you said, back to 15th, I believe, Bo Tiffany in that 13. He's actually trying to bring up that second pack, and he's got Clinton Castleberry, Nathan Rose, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, John Wimbosh, David Burke, Tommy Haynes, Robert Norfleet, and Brandon Thomas, and then Ed Herman.
Oh, and there we see Rhett Tucker and Andrew McGonigal. They're both going to come down pit road this time, and Rhett gets in the grass a little bit. See some other guys. I believe these are his other teammates, Clint Castleberry, Rogie, and Robert Norfleet all coming. Oh, and they get into each other.
Yeah, you see the 12, that Fanatec machine ended up going around right in front of the 91. So unfortunate for them. Good thing is maybe if it all works out, the packs on track were very, very separate. It might come out and might be able to fall right back into a draft if they can tuck in right as they go by. If they come by and they're going too fast, you will lose them.
We'll see if our leaders come down pit road this time. Nope, all of these guys in the lead pack opting to stay out, possibly going to try and make it to lap 30, then come down then. But, yeah, tough break for Castleberry there. He's going to need a caution to save his race here. He's probably going to fall a lap down with what just happened on pit road. And there we see him going on by Nathan Rogie there on the inside, so he must have taken some tires as well. But, yeah, this couple cars is going to be a lap down now, and that's going to change up the game for these guys, see what they do as the race goes on to possibly work their way back up here on the lead lap. But these top 6 guys starting to separate themselves out a little bit. You see that pack getting spread up a little bit as these pit stops are unfolding.
Yeah, I'm going to guess somebody just came over to the radio and said pitting this time, or sent that signal through their button mapping, and they're just kind of giving just a little bit more room. Definitely not up each other's trumpet as they've been since the beginning of the race. Now working lap 30. Greg, not only are these guys flying, but the race is flying by.
Yeah, it's kind of good. I need a nap, man. Like I said, I've been on playing all day, but getting to the action that everybody's been dying to get, man. We love when Speed Racing Network season kicks off, and it was a little bit of a longer off season this year, but it kind of just gave everybody time to perfect the craft and get out here, and it's really showing out here, and it's a testament to the admins for putting certain rules into effect. This year, unlike last, they put an incident limit rule this year, so it's really, as we see all of the tank racing drivers coming down this time, it's promoting a lot cleaner racing like we're seeing right now. So they don't want to hit that 17X mark because their night will be over in an instant. They'll just flat out disappear off the track.
Tell you what, I love the way that all those guys just came down pit road. It kind of reminded me of the racing from yesteryear, and you probably remember what I mean, where there's one guy all the way up towards the wall, then you got one guy out towards the white line, back towards the wall, and basically you're staggering those cars. That way, if one guy comes on in and he's a little hot and then hits the brake late, you don't rear end him because you're just a little bit further towards the track. So the way they all came in, no issue whatsoever. No contact going down pit road, nothing. 94, he's going to be able to come on back out, and he's got the same help that he had going in, and they're all going to be able to stay right there.
Well, this is just indicative of what it does to you if you stay a little bit further on back in the pack. You get that big toe like these Gear Up Motorsports drivers are, and that is exactly why Latham, Burke, and Politis are all still out there in the 79 and McAvoy as well. They've just been able to kind of drive half throttle this whole race and stay out longer than everybody else. These are the last 4 guys to pit. So it could be good for them. It could be bad. I mean, like we've seen, 2 cars, 3 cars is just as fast as the whole pack. So I don't think it's really hurting them too much here.
No, not at all. You're talking about that 4 of Jeremiah Burke after somebody messaged him or mentioned him out there in chat. You see that 5 make a wicked left turn. He's going to have to hope he can lock that up, and hopefully he doesn't have his brake bias too low or too high. It looks like everybody's able to get down to that 55-mile-an-hour pit road speed, work their way towards the pits. I believe there's only maybe 1 or 2 more small groups that are yet to pit before the first full round of green flag pit stops is complete.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think that is going to be it as far as the last pack to pit. So we're going to see how they shake out once these leaders catch up. If they can get up to speed and kind of get back in line with these guys, they are very tight. All 7 of these guys.
Yeah, as I went back through the running order, I realized that the 94 of Edward Shearer was in P5 while all those guys were on pit road. So yeah, you're 100% right, Greg. That completed green flag pit stops. A couple guys had issues. A lot of the guys that didn't are still running where they were. They're all going to try to pack right back up as you see them all starting to merge back up on track.
Yeah, then Timothy Latham not going to be able to keep up with that toe there. That pack is creating big old draft down the backstretch, but Latham and the rest of his teammates going to lose that, and it's just going to be a 7-car breakaway for the lead here with Latham, Burke, and McAvoy next in line running 7th, 8th, and 9th, and Michael Politis lost his teammates as well, so he's going to fall back to that next pack as Andrew McGonigal and Rhett Tucker go on by him. So it's kind of a weird race right now. We've got a pack of 7 up front, then a pack of 3, and then a pack of 4, and so on and so forth. Another pack of 3, and then a big old pack from about Chris Lucky on back. They are running 30 seconds behind, though, so they have some serious ground to make up. Not sure if they took tires or what, but they're going to need a caution if they want to have any shot at winning this race here tonight.
Yeah, Timothy Latham in that number 5 Raise Energy Camaro. He really needed the number 4 of Jeremiah Burke to be right on his back bumper as they merged into traffic to have any kind of a chance, any hope at all to catch up with that pack of 7 that continue to stay single file going through the trial. Well, that's going to start lap 35. So I imagine these guys can all do it on one more pit stop.
Well, we're going to see if this thing just stays green the whole time, Pete. It's seeming like it might with these things breaking up like they are. I mean, it's not going to promote too much side-by-side racing if we have all these little packs, but I have to imagine that they're going to get desperate the further on back you go back in the pack, so we'll see exactly how it shakes up. But that's not going to deter Reese Schaefer from just shoving his teammate Ed Shearer down the backstretch and just giving them as much speed as they possibly can as they come to the stripe to take lap 36 here at Daytona.
Yeah, Mark Berger out there in chat saying Tank Racing is 100% and saying that Seth Berger is top 2. Is in Tank 2 and he's in the top 6. So, yeah, Seth Berger now actually running in P number 3 in that number 24, right behind a couple of very, very stout vehicles that have proved themselves so far in this race.
Yeah, Seth Berger is actually a free agent if this is the correct roster. So, running as an independent, but in a Chevy. But, yeah, he is definitely working with his teammates here with the Tank Racing boys, so not surprised to see that. But been getting some updates from our very own Brandon Domain. Pete, you've got to meet Brandon. That is my main man when it comes to these broadcasts, and he is definitely hooking me up with some info. And I'm hearing that there's a little chatter with some of the guys being nervous about side drafting when it's happening. It says it's hitting the handling more than they're used to. So that could be why we're seeing so much single file racing at this point in the race. So might bump it up a little bit once we get to the end, but it seems like a lot of guys aren't very confident in the handling of these cars so far.
That could also be why Andrew McGonigal and Rhett Tucker, every time they got to the outside of the lead pack, worked their way up to P2 on the inside, P3 on the inside, and all of a sudden you saw them drop back. It was right about the time where I mentioned that the guys weren't quite guiding these machines along the double yellow line on the bottom. Might have got a little nervous, maybe tried a little bit too much side draft. Cars on the bottom washed up a little bit. And they could have avoided something that we didn't quite catch, but made them nervous behind the wheel.
Oh, yeah, it's very easy to get nervous behind the wheel here at Daytona. It's just an instant can ruin your whole race. So good to see some patience. And like I said, what I said about the incident points, that could be promoting some cleaner racing. And just, these guys want to get to the end. And so far, these Cup drivers putting on a fantastic show in these brand new next-gen cars. We're going to have to get a new name, maybe start calling these things the Gen 7s, because it's not the next gen. They're here now, and it's been awesome in real life as well as here on SRN, putting on a good show. And, man, the action out in Fontana and Daytona the past 2 weeks has been absolutely awesome. I'm loving what I'm seeing with these cars, and it's actually putting the driving back in the driver's hands.
Absolutely, and if you're a big fan of Fontana, some great news was released right after the Xfinity race. They said they have put all plans on changing that track to a short track on hold. No set date for the bulldozer whatsoever. So they might have that up in the air, whether they're actually going to keep it the way it is, a big old 2-mile draft-dependent track, or maybe they'll go back and they'll revisit those short track plans at a later date.
Let's go ahead and check out the upcoming races here on Speed Racing Network. And Phoenix is where we are going next. We're going to have a little bit of a week off next week as it's a build week for iRacing. We've run into trouble with those before where it just completely changes up everything, and kind of sometimes the server doesn't come back up in time for our races. So we're just going to take that whole week off and then go back to Phoenix for March 15th to 17th. And then we're going to be in Atlanta. I don't think we're going to have the new configuration quite yet, but still a fun track regardless. And then we're going to go see Circuit of the Americas, and that is going to be an interesting one. That track is just crazy when it comes to road courses. And then a little bit of a monkey wrench thrown into the schedule this year. The Twin Rings out in Matogi, Japan. That's going to be on April 5th to the 7th. And I can tell you for a fact that nobody has any experience out there. And then week 6 will be out in Pocono up in PA. So a really fun schedule here coming up on SRN.
Well, you could absolutely add me to that no experience around twin ring whatsoever. I don't think I've ever actually even seen the track here on iRacing. And it'll be interesting when Atlanta comes to be, whether we're talking about a traditional Atlanta, the new Atlanta, or what do they call it, legacy Atlanta. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all comes to be. But yeah, Phoenix and Atlanta, 2 great tracks. That's where a lot of people might start to say that's where the real racing comes to be, and that's what separates the proverbial men from the boys.
Yeah, we held our championship race there last year for Speed Racing Network, and it was a super fun race, and it really, like you said, separated the men from the boys, because that is a very tough track to save your stuff while being fast at the same time. So it'll be interesting once we get out there, but it's going to be a great action-packed schedule all season long. So look for updates as we move on throughout the season, and let us know what race you're looking forward to the most. And like you said, I think Twin Rings is going to be just new for all of us, but fun for all of us at the same time. So definitely looking forward to it.
Tell you what, this 99 for Rhett Tucker, he's leading this second pack. He's got Kyle Ryan and Timothy Latham very, very close in tow, and they just picked up a couple of guys. Now, if they can stay put, get single file, and don't race each other, they might be able to make up some time because the numbers will be bigger. We've seen smaller numbers make hay on the high side, but if they're guiding that bottom line, really pushing or just kind of keeping off the back bumper of the second place car in line and just ride. if you get into that bubble, you can push just with that air. That's one thing that really hasn't changed between the Gen 6 and, yeah, we can absolutely call them the Gen 7 cars. If you just get there and barely touch without pushing the pusher, you can still make up a lot of time.
Yeah, they are significantly faster than that lead pack right now. You actually just read my mind, because that was another thing that Brandon Domain just told me. That these guys are closing about 3 to 4 tenths a lap. So if this keeps up, they should be there in about 10 laps or so and knocking on the door. And Rhett Tucker, like I said, wants to get up front. So we'll see if they can make it up there, now sitting 3.7 seconds back, and keep that number in mind as we start ticking these laps off, see how much he's picking up on these guys each time.
Yeah, I mean, he's already proved that he can get up on the high line and really compete with the leaders. He just needs to get up there. And if they continue to click off laps, we're just now past halfway. There's plenty of time to do it, but the 91 and the 5, they've got to stay committed to that 99's back bumper. He can hold the steady line. It looks like he's holding a steady wheel as well. And, yeah, they can get back up there.
Whoa.
It ain't over yet.
There was a moment there for Kyle Ryan. Good job on catching that before it really ended some people's days. But nonetheless, picked up another 10th right there. So not as much as that lap traffic kind of affected them a little bit there, but still picking up time nonetheless, down to 3.5 seconds for the 99. We're going to see a race here soon with these leaders. They better take note, because that 99 and the rest of this field are coming.
Yeah, they are absolutely coming in a hurry. You look up just a little bit further. The 33, I believe, is the last in tow. I believe the 56 is a lap down. So you've got Devin Zimmerman in P number 6, Rhett Tucker in 7th. Again, one lap car there in the mix. All they need to do is catch just a little bit of a whiff of that draft, and before you know it, that time is going to get shorter and shorter and shorter. But Greg, what's really going to be interesting is where they go, when or if they catch them. Do they try to go high and bust up all that momentum, or what do they do? Will it be right about the time where they're all ready to make their next round of green flag pit stops, as you start to see a couple cars get a little loose?
That is one of the benefits of my experience with racing with these guys. I can tell you for a fact that when Rhett Tucker gets to them, he is going to go right to the outside. These guys know what's happening up here. They know this is all of tank racing. Running up towards the front, they have to break this up if they want to have any shot at winning this race. Otherwise, tank racing is just going to dominate that inside lane. It's going to make it really hard for anybody to get by. You might be able to get to the outside of them, but that's different than just passing them all together. So we'll see what happens. They got a little more lap traffic coming up here, so that's going to help this lead pack a little bit as they catch a tow and are going to work around them. But we'll have to see if these lap cars are able to latch onto the back of these leaders, maybe help them get a little more speed, or if they also fall back to that second pack and help them catch up a little and kind of offset what they're picking up right now.
Yeah, those lap cars, they're broken up. They're not in line. So yeah, these leaders, they might get just a little bit of a tow, but at the same time, they're coming with a whole lot more speed than those lap cars. So they're probably telling them, hey, go high, go low, go wherever. As you see, none of them moved anywhere, and it made that whole line just accordion. You're going to see that backpack come in a hurry now.
Yeah, not surprised there. That's one of Rhett Tucker's teammates, Clint Castleberry, in the 12. So, yeah, he's going to help his teammate. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong there. He just held his line. So, I mean, that's going to help that second group catch up. But now you see it down to 2.4 and slowly getting lower. So that group is coming in a hurry, and they're going to just get the draft off of these guys too, more than likely, which is going to help them catch up even more.
I don't think the number 91 for Kyle Ryan has left the back bumper of this 99. I'm sorry, the 91 rather of Kyle Ryan. I don't think he's left the back bumper of the 99 whatsoever. The 5 has stayed committed. So has the 4, and the rest of them, Greg, they're there.
Yeah, on board with Kyle Ryan right now. They are right there, as you see Rhett Tucker just catching up, and he is going to go right on by with this huge momentum that he's going to have.
He's already shown that he can get up on the high line and really use that to his advantage. He hasn't been, worried at all about trying a little bit of a side draft. We saw him break up that bottom line earlier. He's lost some of his help, but the person that was committed to him, that number 91, he stayed right there with him. You see the 56, the lap down car. He's going to stay in the middle line, 99 and 91. They're going to go flying right on by, and they've got the 5, they've got the 4, they've got the 09, they've got that whole line still very much intact. Ball game's just getting started, new down.
Yeah, great by these lap cars to race these guys clean. I mean, they don't want to cause any incidents with these leaders, and they can't do anything. They have to keep running their race, so kudos to that 56 on holding his line there and just doing what he's got to do to stay in this race. Robert Norfleet just rolling in the middle there, and right as we say that, Rhett Tucker's starting to pick up some positions. He's to the outside now of Devin Zimmerman, going to try and possibly do his side draft, which we said earlier is kind of making these guys a little uncomfortable, but look how it's breaking that 33 up from Joseph Causey.
Yeah, and I like what the 99 of Rhett Tucker is doing. He's not all the way up by the wall, Greg. He's actually in that middle line. He's got his right sides right on that seam. So he's keeping the guys on the bottom, not really allowing them to do much. And at the same time, every now and then just ducking on down just a little bit to pull those guys back. Only the top 4 are now by themselves. A little bit of a gap between the 33 and the car in front.
Yeah, it is picking up here as we are going to near that window to get it to the end. We saw, the last pack that pitted made it 32 laps. So we're well within that window now to possibly make it to the end. But like we said earlier, it really doesn't provide you any benefit like it normally would if you're getting fresh tires to go pit early. So these guys are going to have to work with all these guys that they've been racing with all along, figure out when they're going to pit just so they don't lose that pack. And I have to imagine it's going to happen here possibly soon.
Greg, I'm really liking this Rhett Tucker. I tell you what, he is not content just filling a hole on the bottom and riding for a while. I see exactly why you were saying he is a hard charger. He wants to get to the front. He has not stayed on the bottom since he caught up to these guys. And before that round of green flag pit stops, which caused all that separation, he wasn't content with running on the bottom either. He's giving that 14 a big old shove now. He wants that top spot.
Yeah, the problem with the 14, he's got a little bit of damage there on the right rear, so it's not going to be pushing as well as the lead car. Kyle Ryan gets really loose in front of Rhett Tucker there, but saves it again. We've seen him get loose there twice now. So that just might play into the handling that these guys are feeling out here with these next-gen cars, and it is not to their liking. But that's what we like to see. This is making it difficult, and it's making the best drivers, the cream of the crop, rise to the top. So that's what we wanted here with these Gen 7 cars. I'm going to get used to saying that.
There you go. Yeah, you almost got to kind of wonder if the 91 was watching the rear view. He saw the 99 and maybe trying to anticipate when there's going to be a little bit of contact with the back end of that car, or maybe he just touched just a little bit of the yellow. Go back to the old butter, what we used to call it back in the day, where you couldn't exactly touch it, otherwise you had some serious issues. But the 91-99, just a little bit of a gap. But now everybody on that bottom line, I anticipate, though, the next time that 99 gets a run, if he's got some help, he's going to go to the outside yet again.
Yeah, well, we totally missed it. We have a new leader out front. It's going to be Seth Berger in that 24 kind of William Byron-looking Chevrolet running the Flood Brothers paint scheme out here. So he has the lead now. Wondering if that was another setup there like we saw earlier when Ed Shearer went by Reese Schaefer and kind of wanting to save some fuel a little bit, even though he doesn't really need it. Like I said, they're already in that window to make it to the end. So hearing that we might see it within the next 3 to 5 laps, these guys coming down pit road. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Absolute 24 out front, and he's got a cheering section out there in chat, Greg. You got Pam Williams and Lisa Berger both cheering on Seth. So it's always nice whenever you got people out there pulling for you, knowing that you can do it. And when you got a powerhouse like Edward Shearer right in your rear view, as well as the 17 of Reese Schaefer, he's in really good hands.
Yeah, you're going to find out, Pete, that Burger Nation is always in full force. And this guy was running up front a lot of last season, so picking up, I'm going to get that saying right, picking up right where he left off from last year, just leading the pack. And really, I think he is a great asset to Tank Racing. Teaches these guys a lot, and it's showing right now as Like we said, these guys have been caught by the other pack, but still holding their own, still holding those top 6 positions.
Well, Greg, it looks like we're going to come around to start lap 56, so 25 laps remaining as you see the scoring pylon switch over, hashtag go faster. I'm sure the 24, the 94, the 17 and company, they all want to go faster. They kind of want to break away from the guys that have caught them. That way when they make their way down pit road, they can all do it under their own comms and try to get that separation back one more time. We saw before that it took lap after lap after lap for the back half to catch them. Now they're in one big group. What's going to happen when they come down pit road?
Who knows? But we saw some stuff happen last time where people got caught up in some trouble. So going to have to avoid that if they're going to want to make it to the end and possibly collect that cash money that is on the line. So nearing the end of this one, down to 24 to go, and just waiting to see them peel down pit road and make that final stop and see who is going to come away with it. But just saw back here, Rhett Tucker and Andrew McGonigal again running that outside all by themselves. And we'll see if they can get up there this time. I think they're going to have a hard time doing it with this inside lane being as stacked as it is. And you see the 09 kind of fall off a little bit from the 99's bumper, and that's only going to hurt them a little bit more.
We come to complete that 24 to go.
09! Oh, wow, what a save right there by McGowan, and then there they go.
Will this be it? So far, I don't see any kind of a caution. It looks like we're going to stay green. They went off the track. So with all these people out there in chat rooting on lap 24, we just completed lap 24 to go. Is that an omen? I'm sure a lot of people would love to say yes, including driver 24.
Wow, that was crazy to have no caution right there. But yeah, that is one of the things about the iRacing server that is kind of a pet peeve to people. If it's off the racing service, it does not register it at all. But see if it can go back and try possibly catch a look at what happened there. Yeah, we see the 09 get really loose here, and the 14 just breaks loose all on his own, comes right down in front of the 09, collects both of them. Big hits into the wall there. And I have to imagine that is going to be the end of both their nights. Big-time damage for those drivers.
Yeah, no fast repairs here in SRN. Greg, they hit the same wall that Kyle Busch hit when he ended up busting his leg just a couple of very short years ago. So far, though, like you said, even though they made hard contact in the inside wall, it was 2 cars. Caution did not fly. They both grabbed the gear, got back up, got going, but their nights are, as you said, over.
Yeah, kind of broke up a little bit of the field. Kyle Ryan, Rhett Tucker both coming down pit road, but just by themselves. So 2-car pack. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for the 91 and the 99, but we'll see how it does as these guys are going to stay out. Oh, they got to be real careful there as they kind of got a little bit squirrely, but as they're running on the bumpers, so they got to be careful not to hook one another and wreck your own teammate.
Yeah, right about this time you're reaching over and you're adjusting that brake bias. You're bringing it down just a little bit. That way when the 94 gives the 24 a shot, it's not jacking him all. He's got a little bit more stability in the rear end of that car, can take a little bit more of a push, and these guys are actually coming up on other cars trying to put them a lap down. Great job by them all. Great job for them to, or by them rather, to get by the 1-lap car they just got by. As he stayed low, they all went high, but able to maintain that train. 94, everybody else coming down pit road, trying to whoa it up to 55.
Ooh, Seth Berger made me really nervous there for a second. Kind of went back out to the track almost, it looked like. Yep. Lost a lot of time on that pit entry, though. Reese Schaefer got on by him, and he just lost a lot of time to that 94 as well. So not going to hurt him too much, but he's not going to come out in the same position that he pitted.
Another thing that just hurt that 24, he had to let the 37 go on by. He had no clear entrance to his pit. As you see a lot of these cars getting jacked up on the right side, I think this whole race so far, 20 laps to go. That means they've gone 60 laps, I believe, on their right side tires. They only took enough fuel to make it to the end. Here they all come, one long conga line. We're about to sort this all out.
Yeah, this is insane. We've never seen this many cars come off pit road under green flag conditions, so this is going to be it. Michael Politis, though, taking the lead. We got cars on the infield there. Steve Whitmore, I believe that was.
I kind of missed that, but I do see where Michael Politis is up there, and Timothy Latham, he's out there on track right now, showing to be the leader. Yeah, big long slide through the grass for that number 70.
This is exactly what I said about not having fresh tires that you got to be careful of. You can lose it so easily, just like we saw the 77 as well as the 70 do right there. Tough break as they're going to lose so much time in positions there under green flag conditions. Going to be hard to get all that back with just 19 laps to go. But Michael Politis still out in front. He still has yet to make his final pit stop, but nonetheless might try to get a lucky break here and maybe catch a yellow flag and some serious track position.
Well, we saw a whole bunch of clusters of cars going down pit road. A whole bunch more even came off together. So it's absolutely possible. But so far, no dice. 91 in the 5, they might have just made their bed. We'll have to see if they have to lie in it should that yellow decide to stay folded up on the flag stand. But coming to 18 to go this time, it's going to be the 91 of Politis, the 5, Tim Latham, Joseph Causey, Reese Schaefer, and Emerson Arden is your top 5.
Oh, yeah, so just looking forward to seeing when Michael Politis decides to bring it down. So far, not doing it just yet. Last pitted lap 32. Might be coming down this time, but he's got to pick his spot because he is going to have no help as he's the last car to come down pit road. So not going to have any friends to help him after the fact, but doing a great job so far. Up 10 positions after starting 10th, now in first. We'll see if he can hold on to it for Gear Up Motorsports and maybe get a little bit of a lucky draw here if that flag man just decides to maybe wave that yellow flag.
Yeah, my bad. I was saying it looked like to me like the 5 of Latham was right with Politis, but not the case whatsoever. Politis up here in this long line of cars. He's got some around him, but yeah, nobody else here is actually with him. He is the sole benefactor of this huge draft that he's in. He's able to save some, but it's not going to be enough to go the rest of the distance. 17 to go.
Yeah, Latham was the next car in line. He came out in second, but Tank Racing just has more power. They have 4 cars in a line right here. They just went right on by Latham. So that puts Latham back to 6 now. And these guys really not catching Politis, but they're not too worried because they know he's going to have to come down for fuel. So we'll see. But could be making a gamble on maybe possibly an overtime finish. Politis, if he needs to have that extra fuel to make it to the end, might be just trying to pull that strategy off as he comes down pit road this time.
Yeah, it looks like Joseph Causey as he inherits the lead. Reese Schaefer, Emerson Arden, Seth Berger, and Timothy Latham, as you were just talking about. One guy that got shuffled out of all that, the number 94 of Edward Shearer. He was up with all these guys. Not anymore. He's mired back in traffic.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was him or not, but somebody got damaged on the way into their pit stall and hit somebody, made contact, which you can do unless you are in the pit stalls themselves. So you got to be careful when you're pitting here at Daytona or Talladega because that can put some damage on the front end of that nose. The car does not like that. But Pete, I've been banking on a commercial break here. I've been rating on a yellow, and I just at this point don't think we're going to get it. So I'm going to go ahead and take the time to pull up some side-by-side action and run some ads so we can pay some bills here at Speed Racing Network.
Let's do it.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today. Maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
Silverback Tax Solutions specializes in dealing with IRS tax problems. If you are receiving threatening letters from the IRS, or if the IRS has placed liens or levies on your property, Silverback Tax Solutions can help you find relief. We have worked with hundreds of people to resolve their tax problems. If you're behind on filing your taxes, it's never too late to get on the right track. Silverback Tax Solutions can help with that also. Don't let another night go by where you lose sleep worrying about the IRS or your taxes. Head over to www.silverbacktacks.com or call 662-996-4357 and contact an enrolled agent today. We can help you gain peace of mind and deal with those problems for you.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Well, thanks to all of our partners here at Speed Racing Network as the action is picking up here. We found out what happened to Ed Shearer. He got a little bit of damage, like you said, on pit road. Shearer hit in the rear by Schaefer, some slight nose damage to Schaefer, and a big-time crinkled spoiler and bumper for Shearer. So not sure if that overshot his pit stall, but now he is coming up in a hurry. See him back there on that high line. Shearer back in 7th. He is coming in a hurry with his teammate Devin Zimmerman, trying to get by Timothy Latham here. Doing a good job of it as Latham moves down to the inside line.
Yeah, they might actually be happy that Latham moved on down. Latham was actually, he was running all the way up in that third group. The 94 and the 33 were doing a phenomenal job working their way back up towards this lead pack. They caught them from several seconds back, mostly just the two of them. Had a little bit of help, but now as you see, it looks like they're going to fall back. That bottom line is going to prevail one more time. And actually, just as I say that, the entire pack just went high to go around a couple more lap cars.
Yeah, and that slows them up a little bit, but not too much. Going to go ahead and check in with our current butt kicker hard charger right now, and that is going to be the Jordan Sailors machine here in the 55 Raise Energy Camaro. And Pete, I know you're a big fan of Raise Energy, so I know you're happy to see Jordan up here claiming that hard charger so far, up 18 positions, well now 17 as he lost a spot not too long ago.
Absolutely. I'm actually sipping on a Raise Energy Watermelon Frost as we speak. I'm a ambassador and a Raise Energy insider. So I am all about that Raise Energy, whether it's in a can, whether it's in a powder, whether it's a hydration mix, whatever. I'm all about it.
Yeah, this man saying he drinks them at night. That's just insane to me. But, hey, man, you do you. So, but, yeah, so far he's doing a great job repping his sponsors out there tonight. But, yeah, up 17 spots running. And I believe I lost them on my scoring.
10 to go.
10 to go up there, and he's in 8th. He's up 22 positions now.
Yeah, he's doing a phenomenal spot. Actually just moved up to, if I'm seeing what's correct, it's actually showing 6th as they come on by the line. We'll have to see. But more and more, as more and more spots open up, it's, the hungrier and hungrier these guys get. That 55 Raise Energy machine, he's got a whole bunch of flavors on the backside. Maybe that kind of determines how many different stuff.
Jeremiah Burke taking a turn back there off to the inside of the track. Not sure if he got any damage there. Looks like he was able to save it, but unfortunately loses the pack. He was running with these leaders, but that is going to put him back big time as there is nobody around him for a while. The next closest car, Bo Tiffany, is 28 seconds back, but coming to the stripe, 8 to go. We got a new leader, Pete. It is Devin Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmerman was the car that was being shoved everywhere, every which way but loose, or so it seemed, by the number 94 of Shearer. You mentioned Shearer had a little bit of an issue on pit road. Right now, with that air going over the hood, getting to the rear spoiler, it is nothing but horsepower between these Mustangs.
Yeah, I talked to Devin in the offseason. I was really curious to know, I've run Xfinity Series with him every season here in SRN, now making the change to move up to Cup. Just said he wanted to try something different. Maybe, boost that luck a little bit. And so far, it seems to be possibly paying off as he's running in first place, coming to the stripe with 7 laps to go here at Daytona. So why not get your first win in SRN and your first race in this Gen 7 Cup car here on SRN Season 3. So it's got to hold on for 7 more laps, but can definitely get it done. A beautiful looking car in that 33.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm going to add a little bit to a comment that's out there in chat from Lions Pride. He said if there's not one caution, it's not a Daytona race. Greg, do you think we're yet to see the big one?
I don't think we're going to see it, honestly. With the way this field is split up, I think it's going to go green the whole time. But I think right then I just put the broadcaster's jinx on it, so we'll see just what happens here. But coming to the stripe, 6 to go, it's just not looking like it to me. What do you think, Pete?
I tell you what, a lot of these guys were nervous about the side drafting earlier. I think that's exactly what comes into play. Somebody may cross that start stripe sideways to finish up the race. I think there's going to be some contact here in these next 6 laps. But yeah, Greg, we are coming down to the checkers very, very soon. Hopefully it's not wreckers for a bunch of these guys.
Yeah, well, it's going to be really interesting to see for the fact that the top 5 is all the same team. I mean, Seth Berger running as an independent also runs for Tank Racing on the side, I believe in Xfinity Series now. So all 6 of these guys are teammates, so I'm not sure how much leaning they're going to do on one another. But like you said, we're all racers on the inside. We all want to win. We don't want to push somebody to the win if we can avoid it. And I'm curious to see what happens. But the one name that's...
What do you know?
There it is. That's all it needed was the little broadcaster's jinx here. It's exactly what happened to Bo Tiffany as he kind of blinked out a little bit there and got turned big time there by the 19 of Tommy Haynes.
Earnhardted, to say the least.
Let's see if we can see another look here. Yeah, he just blinks out. I'm not sure if he just came back and the 19 kind of had momentum and ended up inside the 13 or what. I'm going to try and get another look from the 19's perspective here. Got a lot of shuffling around. Let's see. So, yeah, he's not – oh, that's Tommy. Oh. Let me see if I can try that one more time because it reset to Bo. So there he's gone. Yeah, nothing on Tommy Haynes' part. He just disappeared in front of him and then ended up on his bumper, and they just took the ride to the outside wall, like you said, and really damaged that 13 car big time.
Although he needed it, I think the next plate track, whether it's Dega or iRacing Super Speedway, he needs to rethink that push here sticker.
Yeah, for sure, because, nothing on the 19 there. He was doing all he could. It's just, that's the problem that the admins try to take care of with these blinking cars, and you can't have them here at the super speedways. Nothing on Bo Tiffany, it's just it happens to everybody. Sometimes your car will blink out, and that's the end result sometimes as well. You get put in the wall because nothing the 19 could do there, but just keep his foot on the pedal.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, Greg, you got just shy of 70 people out there right now watching this amazing race from Daytona, and they are about to see a green-white checker shootout to solve it all. Going green from the beginning, this ending is absolutely fitting. It's going to be it's about to get nuts.
Yeah, it's going to be wild here, and this is not what Tank Racing wanted to see. Really, their only competition was Timothy Latham back there in the 5 car, and not the case anymore. They're going to have a whole heap of cars here just bearing down on them trying to get this win, because it is up to anybody here for this green-white checker. It is going to go into overtime, and that's exactly what we were talking about with Politis, staying out there a little bit longer than everybody else, wanting to maybe get that extra fuel load in case we do take 3 stabs at this. But, yeah, it's going to be wild here, and Devin Zimmerman's going to have his work cut out for him. But there you see it. That is our leader right now, the 33 in that Ford Mustang, running for Curran Dental, and doing a good job repping them for the first time. Ed Shearer your good buddy running in second place, who's just dominated here on SRN year in and year out, picking up right where he left off, as always, running in second and definitely in contention of winning this thing. Joseph Causey, our pole sitter tonight, who won his duel, in third. Reese Schaefer going to be in fourth. And rounding out the Tank Racing top 5 is going to be Emerson Ardon, who started outside pole, winning his duel as well last week.
I tell you what, Devin Zimmerman, he's going to have Joseph Causey trying to give him a shove. Edward Shearer, he's going to have Reese Schaefer trying to give him a shove to get to the checkers first. But there's one guy out here, Thunder Gaming Network says, watch out for tandem drafting because it works very well in this car. When they were down in Daytona in real life, they were doing just that. They were pushing and shoving, and just like the old Days of Thunder, where Tom Cruise, he's talking about one car up behind the neck, where he's got a little bit of power in reserve to come on out and push. That was, they showed that many times on NASCAR.com and some others, saying that they can get that going again. It's not like the Keselowski, Carl Edwards kind of a tandem where they had to stay locked up, and once they pulled out, they had nothing. These cars have that power in reserve to complete the pass. We might see a Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick finish from Daytona years back.
Well, yeah, we saw how strong Devin Zimmerman was pushing Seth Berger, with the help of Scott Kalal earlier on in the race. And we've seen it all night with Rhett Tucker and Andrew McGonigal. So it can definitely work. We've seen it work, and I think we're going to see a lot of that here happening, because I'm not sure if it's smart for Tank Racing to really give up the front of either lane. So I think that it'd be wise if they just don't come down and all run the bottom line, because that's going to leave the door open for Timothy Latham, as well as Jeremiah Burke. He's back there in 8th still, and that is Latham's teammate. So he's going to be pushing really hard. But pace car lights are off, Pete, and we're going back for some green flag action. It's going to be the Silverback Tax Solutions green flag. Go ahead and save yourself some green by checking out Silverback Tax Solutions.
It looks like 33 was first to get on that loud pedal with a big old shove from the 17 up high. But on the bottom, here comes my buddy and yours, Edward Shearer. He's got a whole train of coming. Now is the time to see if that 33 can try just a little bit of a side draft. Try to pull that second place car on the bottom back just a little bit. That'll leave the 94 as all by himself. More and more cars going up high. Cars blocking. So far, so good. Side by side.
Oh, Rhett Tucker did not like that. He had huge momentum coming through the center, but great block there by Devin Zimmerman and Reese Schaefer, and that's going to give them the momentum for possibly Devin to clear Shearer and maybe move down, coming to the stripe for one lap to go. White flag is in the air. Who's going to get it?
White flag out. Good car length at least. So do they want this car length at least? There's a little bit of room to go on by the high side if they got that draft. To 57, he's been showing all race long that he's strong. He can hold the line. He can get up there. He can shove. Right about now, these guys are shoving for all they're worth. Huge accordion in the back. 4 car got pushed below the yellow. Coming back up. Raised Energy Machines to the outside. He's going to go around.
Yeah, Jeremiah Burke taking a pass through the grass. But right now, Reese Schaefer staying on the bumper of Devin Zimmerman. Is he going to stay behind his captain and his teammate, Devin Zimmerman? Is Devin Zimmerman going to get his first win? They're wrecking behind him. Devin coming to the stripe. Devin is going to win the inaugural race of Season 3 here on SRN. Devin Zimmerman, your winner.
Congratulations to Zimmerman. He had the 17 blinking out. I don't know if the 94 and the others knew exactly where to go or where he was going to reappear. Big congratulations. Way to get the monkey off your back early in the season. Joseph Causey's going to come across P2 and Edward Shearer, number 94, P3.
Yeah, it's going to be a big-time celebration here, not only for Devin Zimmerman, but for Tank Racing, man. Coming out and just flexing big time on the field. They absolutely dominated this race. They dominated the duels, and they show up tonight and just absolutely control this field. They had nothing, or nobody had anything for these guys all night long, because the 5 or 6 of them stayed together like a team does, and it's paying off for Devin Zimmerman. Man, I'm super happy for this guy. He has worked so hard for this moment and burn it down, Devin.
Absolutely. At the start stripe, this number 33, he didn't lead the most laps. He was barely really up front. It actually took a big old shove from that 94 for them to catch the lead pack one more time. He's going to take it through the grass like Dale said. Get the good out of it now before we get to talk to all three in the booth for post-race coming soon.
Let's go ahead and just bump up the audio here and just listen to this engine roar. Oh, come on, Devin. I know that's not all you got here. Let's see that thing burn it down. Maybe that's all he's got. All right, well, there you have it. Just as I wanted to get more into the celebration, he pulls a fast one on me, Pete, and just takes it down pit road. He can't wait to get to victory lane.
Absolutely. It's going to be TJ's team winning moment, driver of the number 33, Devin Zimmerman, your winner here at Daytona. Brand new SRN season well underway.
Yeah, it's super cool to see such a cool winning moment. First-time sponsor coming on board, a first-time winner here tonight. So congrats once again. But let's go ahead and give you that rundown. Devin Zimmerman comes home in first. Reese Schaefer, second place. Joseph Causey coming home in third. So Ed Shearer going to be in fourth. Rounding out the top five is going to be Emerson Ardon. So a great start to all of their seasons for tank racing.
What a great race these guys put on. And yeah, you got to kind of wonder, Greg, if at the end, if there were a bunch of, team orders saying, hey, right now we've got the top five, let's finish it up in the top five. It looks like these guys are going to take a little bit of a trophy lap to themselves for job well done.
Yeah, why not? It's just going to give us more time to talk about it, because why would we interrupt them right now? They're having a good old time out there, but we're going to get down to these interviews in just a second. But while they're doing that, we'll just give you the rest of the rundown, because they are taking their time around this 2.5-mile super speedway. Josh Siegfried, great run for him in the first race of the season, coming home in sixth. I know he's got some fans out there always watching, so they're going to be pumped with that result. Rhett Tucker tried, man. He tried so hard all race long, but pulls it home in seventh place. Seth Berger fell back to eighth with all that action happening on in the middle of the pack. And Jeremy Little. Okay, I'm getting all these new names down. Jeremy Little in his first race here in SRN, going to come home ninth. And Robert Norfleet, another rookie here in SRN, going to get a top 10. What about the rest of our top 20, Pete?
And it looks like it's going to be the number 91 of Ryan, bringing it home P number 11. Mr. Sailors in that number 55, P12. Thomas in the 21, P13. 78 of old Mr. Duke, bringing it home P14. Holloman in that 06, number P15. McAvoy in the number 79, P16. Hostler in the 61, P17. 19 of Haynes going to be P18. Wimbish in the 54, P19, and Timothy Latham in that Rays Energy Camaro, P20.
Yeah, so congratulations to all the drivers tonight. And you know what? They might not have gotten the result that they wanted, but nonetheless, they put on a fantastic show and a great display of sportsmanship. It was just really, really great racing out there throughout the field. But how cool is this, seeing a first-time winner here in our first time in these next-gen cars, the Gen 7 cars, and just a dominating start to the season for tank racing. And, Devin Zimmerman's going to enjoy every last minute of this, so why not?
Absolutely, you can't blame him. And if you look at the front end of all these Mustangs, they all very, very clean. They did a great job maintaining their equipment all the way through, on pit road, coming off pit road for the most part, out there on track, shoving for all it's worth. I don't see a whole lot of grills busted in. Phenomenal job by every single one of these tank racing drivers.
As they come down pit road, let's start trying to wrangle up some of these drivers and try to get to the interview portion. But before we go and do that, make sure you go ahead and check out TJ's team at www.morethanAcape.org. It's an absolutely fantastic organization that helps out kids with pediatric cancer, and it's just, I'm so happy to have them on board, and what a great first race for them and a great race here for Tank Racing tonight. But let's go ahead and bring up Joseph Causey. Joseph, it's Greg Olenek and Pete Ruzick in the booth, man. Tell us about this third place finish and what it means for such a dominating night for Tank Racing.
Man, you can't believe it. You can't write good stuff like this, boy. I tell you. That was awesome. A domination explanation on the whole team doing well. That's how you do it, bar none.
All right, man. Well, tell us about these cars and just exactly how, they handled out there tonight. I was hearing people weren't liking the handling with the side drafting, and that was kind of maybe deterring people from side-by-side racing and maybe separating the pack a little bit. Was that what you guys were feeling out there first time out here in these next-gen cars?
We've all gotten to race some of them, and, I've raced a couple opens. I've raced fixed. I've gotten used to them quite a bit. They're, depending on what set you got, they're kind of drive off throttle at the exit of the turn, so it's kind of weird in the way they drive off the exit of here at Daytona. So I mean, I'm used to it now. I've got my wheel settings correct to be able to just run and go.
Well, man, it definitely showed out there with you guys just dominating up front all night long. You guys have definitely been putting in the time and effort to get it out here and put it out there like you did, and it showed. But before we let you go, Joseph, you got any friends, any family, any sponsors you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yes, I do. I want to thank Birds and Farms on my car. I'm glad they jumped on board. Freaking Boss Security, Burgards, Kareem Dental, I believe I'm saying it right. Hunter, Don Anesthesia Associates, Park Brothers Racing, Parkway Lanes, Teespring, Healthcare Billing Incorporated, EWRL, personal sponsors, and let's see, Spotter. Let's see, got to thank Spotter Miz, man. He was with me all night tonight and freaking telling me when to go and where to go, and all my teammates, man. Thank them all. We worked together. We made it happen.
Yeah, well, you better get all that list down because you guys seem looking like you're going to be up here quite a bit in these post-race interviews. But congratulations, man, on an awesome start to this Season 3 here at Speed Racing Network. Joseph, have fun celebrating with the friends and family here tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I thank the broadcast, too. I can't wait to see it.
All right, man. Well, just excuse the beginning of it because I'm a little tired, so it might sound like a little sleepy. But we appreciate you, man. And you kind of woke me up with that awesome racing out there. So
heck yeah. I'm glad we did.
Yeah, go have fun, man. Look like you guys are having fun celebrating. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, Pete. That was Joseph Causey coming home in third after starting on the pole here tonight. But now let's get to our second place runner-up, Reese Schaefer. Get him up here in the booth. Reese, it's Greg Olenek and Pete Ruzick up here in the booth. Coming home second tonight. Absolute domination by Tank Racing. Tell us about that race and what it means to have all your guys running up there.
Yeah, everything in racing's a lot better with teammates. We started off, during the duels, we got two teammates up front for second, and qualifying-wise, we knocked it out of the park when we were able to stay up there. And I gotta say, our communication all race was fantastic. We were just talking pit strategies. Every time a run was coming, the sixth guy in line would say, "Hey, run's on the way," and start pushing, and just really coordinating super well. And honestly, I didn't realize the race was already over. I had my relative off, and I looked over, and it said lap 75. So I was like, oh my god, I didn't really know what happened. But next thing you know, that caution, the end of the restart, and I had a little disappeared a little bit, but I was all good. So that's all that matters.
Reese, I got to tell you, man, great to actually get to talk to you for the first time here at Daytona to kick off this brand new season of SRN. It really seemed like you, the 57, the 94, and a couple of others were really able to control the pack anytime you were out front. What more did you need, or were there any team orders to get to that start strike first?
I was more at the end. We were thinking like the white flag. We could just all bets are off and stuff. And I was gonna go on Devin, but I started blinking out a little bit, and also Ed got to my outside at the end there. So I was like, yeah, don't want to wreck anyone, obviously, and get anyone any damage. But like I said, during the whole race, we just kept communicating well and just talking about runs and stuff. And I had a block on there at Rick Tucker at the end, and to be honest, I think he let out, because if he didn't, I think he would have turned me. So I was fortunate for that, and it was it was a crazy race. It was so much fun, but hey, 1 through 5, it's definitely a great way to start the season. So.
Absolutely. Tank Racing 1 through 5, every single one of you finishing in the positive cash flow. Congratulations and great start to this point season.
Yep. I'd like to thank some sponsors real quick before I get out of here. I'm going to thank Burgers Farms, Boss Security, Burger Arts, Current Dental, 100 on Anesthesia Associates, Park Brothers Racing, Parkway Lane, excuse me, Teespring, Healthcare Building Incorporated, EWL. All the guys at Tank Racing do such a good job. And I would like to say something, which I don't know if many people know this, but my last 7 SRN races, I finished second. So,
oh boy,
with the last 2 at the end of the year, and then the preseason, the duels, the charity race, and tonight.
Well, you know who used to do that a lot? That was Kyle Larson, and we see how he's doing now. So,
yeah,
could pay out for you here in the end. But man, good luck topping that next week or in 2 weeks when we go to Phoenix. I'm not sure you can do much better than 1 through 5, but go have fun celebrating with the friends and all the family, man. You guys had a lot of support out there in the chat tonight.
Appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you.
Thanks, man. All right, Pete, that was Reese, and he was super excited to come home in second. I can only imagine what we're about to hear from Devin Zimmerman. We got Devin Zimmerman up here in the booth as a first-time winner here in Speed Racing Network. And Devin, we talked over the offseason. I was very shocked to see you getting out of the Xfinity Series and maybe taking on these next-gen cars. And you just showed me why, coming home with the first win of the season and absolutely dominating out there with the rest of your Tank Racing boys. How does it feel, man? You're a winner.
Oh, my gosh. 5 seasons of trying to finally get a win in this series. Oh, my gosh, it feels so good. And I couldn't have done it without the team, man. That was just dominance from the start to the finish. We got both duels. We get the Daytona race. I can't, words are hard to come by, but I cannot talk too much good about how this team has functioned, this Cup team. Even with our honorary member of Seth there helping us out in the race, we executed everything to perfection. It couldn't have gone any better. Oh my gosh, just
I tell you what,
finally.
Man, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, finally.
Hey, it could be like Earnhardt. It could be 19 years before you get it done. But no, man, you didn't. First-time winner here. I got to ask you, though, before that second round of green flag pit stops came out, Shearer was all over, laying it into the rear end of that number 33. You're trying to chase down the pack. They came across some lap cars. You were able to really pull up, get to their draft, and pull to their outside. Is that the moment where you thought, maybe I just have a chance here now?
Yeah, we were just trying to get back to our team. We wanted to lock out and prevent any runs from any of the other competitors. I mean, Latham is so strong, and we knew that he was going to be a handful. And so we just wanted to have all 6 of us up there. So it was kind of almost team orders to get us back up there with them, to get all 6 cars there to, kind of lock out any type of runs or anything. Latham put on a great block. We kind of had to readjust real quick, but luckily we were able to get it done, get around him, and then push our way to the front. Hats off to Ed. Couldn't have done it without Ed Shearer's help. He pushed me all the way there. And then hats off to Reese for pushing me to the win. I mean, there's so many people to thank for this team and for everything these guys have done. Each and every day, each one of these members pulls, some type of weight. And I mean, good gosh, Tank Racing is awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what, first through fifth, you had him right behind you, and they were 3 wide behind him. Nobody was passing Tank coming to that start stripe. Congratulations on your win. Way to get it done. Looking forward to the remaining, to Phoenix and then Atlanta. Any tracks that kind of you might feel just a little insecure about, maybe a little extra practice in the coming days?
I mean, with this car, the way it is, every practice is needed. I mean, it's a brand new car. It's going to change every week. You got to keep practicing, stay on top of your game. We'll definitely be doing that. As far as, the tank team, every single week, just putting in the hours, making sure we're good to go, kind of like how we were this week. And, we'll just keep it coming, man. We want a wave of tank racing this season. We want to take everything. We started off, we took the first 3. We're going to come for the other 19 here.
Well, yeah, you guys absolutely showed your hand here tonight at Daytona, Devin. But before we let you go, I know you got a long list. We've already heard it twice. We've talked to your tank racing teammates. But I know you got a long list of sponsors as well as, friends and family to go ahead and give a shout-out to. So the floor is yours, bud.
Oh, yes. You get to hear it a third time, and just in case you didn't hear it the first 2.
Hey, that's what you earned by finishing all in the top 5.
Yeah, Ferguson Farms, Ball Security and Automation, Berg Arts Designs, Curran Dental Labs Incorporated, Hunterdon Anesthesia Associates, Park Brothers Racing, Parkway Lanes Bowling Center, Teespring, Healthcare Billing Incorporated, EWRL, and oh my gosh, just Invaders M Designs. All the paint schemes are done by Invaders M Designs for tank racing in all 3 series. Even the dark tank racing team and the trucks you'll see tomorrow. A lot of hours put in there to get these trucks and cars looking the best that they can. Got to hand it off to Josh Mueller spotting for me tonight. He was on top of it all race long. Let me know where the runs, everything was, because I was in the back of the 6-car team there for a little bit trying to call out runs. All my teammates, Ed, Reese, Joseph, Emerson, Seth. Oh my gosh, I can't say enough about each and every one of them. And of course, you guys up in the booth, y'all do a great job. We've got to hear your voice now, Greg, for a couple seasons, and it's been amazing. And now we get to hear you, Pete, and I can't wait to hear it when I watch it back tomorrow night.
Awesome, man. Well, we're excited and see what you can do, and I'm super happy for you, dude. I love seeing first-time winners, man. So just live it up in the moment, man, and go have fun celebrating with the friends and all the teammates and family.
Oh, yeah. I can't drink tonight. I got to work tomorrow, but I got the Pepsi right here beside me. I'll be doing that.
There you go. All right, man. Have a good night, and congratulations once again.
Thank you, fellas. Thank to all those viewing. Thank all the tank racing fans. We're going to keep going after it.
All right, man. Well, they appreciate you, and take care, bud.
Thanks.
Well, Pete, first-time winner for a first-time commentator here in SRN, so it's kind of just symbolic. You got a first-time sponsor here as well for the winning moment. Like we said, go ahead and check them out at morethan.acape.org for TJ's team. Go ahead and donate whatever you can. Anything helps. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for tonight, but Pete, we're going to only have some more action for these guys tomorrow. Go ahead and check us out at the same time for some Truck Series action. And Pete, you won't be here in the booth with me, but I know you'll be watching after this race tonight. It was an exciting one.
Absolutely. They just set the stage for in every single series that's part of this SRN group. Can't wait, man. Can't wait at all. It seems like a lot of these series and leagues are just firing off or getting ready to shut down. I can't wait till next one. Yeah, Phoenix is going to be amazing. I'm not quite sure. I didn't see on the schedule whether it's Legacy or new.
Oh, it's the new one. Yeah, we're going through the new one.
So we're going through the dog leg. Get ready.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But, yeah, we've got 2 more races. You can catch them on Wednesday and Thursday. The trucks will be tomorrow at 9:20 p.m. Eastern Time, and the same time for Xfinity on Thursday. So come back and check us out. I'm going to get some sleep tonight, so I'll have a little bit more energy for the truck race tomorrow. But, man, I appreciate each and every one of you stopping by here tonight and watching. At some point, Pete said we had 70 viewers, and that's absolutely incredible. I hope we can only build it from there, and all your support means a lot to us. Just make sure you do click that subscribe button and like the stream for us. It goes a long way. But like I said, going to do it for us tonight here at Daytona for this Cup Series, kicking off with a bang. Devin Zimmerman getting that first win of his career in SRN. So congratulations once again to him. But that's going to do it for us. Have a good night, and as always, remember to go faster.